In my life, did I get opportunity to go to office? Do I have a fate line to get a job in US? And if you studied masters in US, but your graduation is different field, or BTech is in a different field, you can watch this video. If you want to get a job, you can watch this video. This video, despite I'm busy, I'm making this video because I want to help to the people. The person whom I am doing interview is having a 15 years of experience and who has struggled for the job in US, but finally he secured very good job in US and India also. You can have a I had a conversation with him and that. So you are forced to come to India, right? So what was the skills holding you to get a job? That or schooling days, I heard that you had repaired TV. Those days you said you have OPT period and 2 years you didn't get a job. So during the college days, how do you manage your work? You how much loan you have taken those days?
Right, right. One thing, like I said, connections.
Days you are forced to come to India. So while you are flying from America to India, so what was your thoughts? Coming back to you, if you want to say thanks to somebody, so whom
Uh,
you want to say? What you can say? If they wanted to grow themselves in one word or 30 seconds, if I ask you what you can say, that I'm going to ask you. So connection means getting a LinkedIn connection.
sure, to you need to achieve. When I wrote CISSP, right, the only thing I did that made my journey and
So, those times you got the PwC job. So, how did you manage it and those things? Can you elaborate it?
quality of life. So when I came here, right, I was very upset. I had to, so I was given 14 days to come back, pack up and come back because H1B, they rejected my renewal. Only had 40 days to come back. So I passed the exam is I showed up every day, 4 hours. I said to myself, every day, 4 hours. You have to show up.
Okay. You have to show off something. Okay. Got
Show
it.
off
If you are doing a coding, also you have to show.
the great introduction, actually.
Ah,
Um, so uh, I was born and brought up in uh, Hyderabad. So outskirts of Hyderabad, 40 kilometers, right? So it's called Ordnance Factories. So it's a defense organization, and mother, they are both employees. They have retired now, but they are both employees of Ordnance Factory. They were, and myself, I have a sister uh, uh, who is actually right now is in United States. Still, and then BTech I studied in. So this college is actually right now a medical college, but it used to be engineering college, Indra Reddy. Uh, so I did my electronics communication and communication engineering in BTech, and then I did electrical engineering in the master's at San Jose State University. During my master's, um, I also I got exposed to the networks and a little bit of computer. I mean, it's a hardware computer, right? Computer technology. So on the networking and a little bit of software as well on the databases. So uh, all my, if you see the education, right, it's on nothing on the computer side. It's more towards electronics and a little bit of, couple of subjects in computer.
okay. I have a couple of points here to ask. Sir, you have selected electronics, but May I know reason why you chose the like computers field? In US, you studied a master's in electronics. So
It was not like I didn't want to do the electronics. So I did try my best to get a job in electronics, but you have to realize the situation and realities of the situation, right? So when I went to masters, it was 2009, after the housing crisis in the US. Many Western countries were affected, and the stock market was down. Many people lost their jobs, earnings, life savings, stock market, investments, everything, right? Um, so the start of the crash was around 2007, and no, or maybe at the end of the 2007. But the real costs, right, or the havoc that happened was only after I think around 2008. And 2009, 2010, I did my masters, and then masters was completed. I didn't know what to do. I tried my level best to get the job, but um, things just didn't happen. I mean, there was hiring. It's not like there was no hiring, because the market was picking up around 2010. Uh, but I was on OPT without a job for at least 1.5 year. I joined a consultancy, and then I there also I did not get job still. I joined another consultancy, and then I was able to crack one job which was on Java development, but they wanted the Java written for test scripts, right? Which is so Selenium and Java. So those were the Selenium and Java. So basically, it's not my first choice to get into computers, but I am glad that things have happened for a reason, right?
yeah,
I'm glad I'm in the computers. So my first job was Java coding for writing Selenium test scripts for web applications.
okay, sir. I want to ask Manoj. Yeah, I just wanted a couple of questions. I have it. I'll be asking in between. Otherwise, I may missed. Okay, there are
Okay.
useful information. You have a treasury of information that is going to be useful for the young generation. So, those days you said you have OPT period and 2 years you didn't get a job. So, during the college days, how do you manage your work? You how much loan you have taken those days?
So, I mean, the education costs are very high right now, I think, everywhere. Back then, it was not this high, but when you compare the, inflation and all, I think it was pretty high for those, standards as well. So I had to take a loan of 15 lakhs, and I exhausted every penny of that. So I got a loan from State Bank of India. So this will only cover the tuition fees, right? So the living expenses, everything I have to figure out. I mean, I can ask my mother and father, but if you think about it, right? Anybody who is, even the rich people, right? Not very, very rich, but even the upper middle class people, you convert Indian rupees to US dollar, it's gonna cost, right? So for the first semester, I did not get a job. So I wanted to do a part time in the in my university. I tried part time outside also, but outside I did not get it. In the university, I got it in after 9 months. So I went in January 2009. After 9 months, I got a job within the university, and the way I got the job was I emailed every professor in the university,
Also,
right?
okay,
So
that's good. What you described, that can you elaborate it more?
okay. So I opened sjsu.edu. I looked at the departments. I noted email addresses. I emailed everybody, do you have any vacancy that I can probably help on, right? As a part-time, I'm so and so, I'm an international student coming from India. Some professors came back saying that you shouldn't be emailing like this, etc. Which I think is wrong, because you have an email address in the public portal. That means you will get emails from anyone. And some people, so I secured one. He said he has option to do only 12 hours a week, right? So 20 hours is allowed, 12 hours only I can get.
Your target is achieved. So though you scolded by somebody, your target is achieved. Guys, please observe
Yes.
that if you get some emails, please change with them for the job.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, you should, I think the point is you should do what you want to do, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, right? uh, so emailing, I don't think is not even an invasion of privacy. So it's just they got an email, they can, everybody gets emails, right? Spam emails, junk, so many things. So just not that part-time job, I also had to do outside the campus, because 12 hours and $10 per hour is not gonna, you'll not go far. So even that, I did part-time jobs in the liquor
Yeah, that is true. There
stores.
you have to do it. You can't manage. You can't ask all the ask money. You can't ask all the money from parents. Yeah.
Correct. Right. So yeah, uh, you have to pay the rent. You have to eat. Uh, you have so many activities that you need. You want to. You also want to go out, right? You're a student, so you have energy. You want to go out, spend some money also. Right? So how much you effort? What is the output that you need? What is the input you need? You need to calculate all that. So I had to secure a job outside also, apart from just campus. So one of my friend uh, got a liquor store job, and he asked if I can help. Then the owner said okay, and all that, right? So I also did uh, like like sold liquor in in a shop as a cashier. Uh, I also did some, in the US, it's not that somebody else will come and mop your store, right? You have to clean your store. You have to sell your, so basically all that.
Yeah, చూడండి ఎంత కష్టపడ్డాడు బిడ్డ. Yeah. In case your father is saying, okay, now I want to ask here, like, how do you handle that time studies? In case you do not handle the studies properly those days, I want to you to say that if in case somebody is doing university part-time jobs now, how they have to balance. So I am
Hmm.
only encouraging a positive part-time jobs. So how they have to balance, and
Correct.
if you can share that point, that would be good. Many those days, you may be having a thoughts like a different type of thoughts. What if I'm going back to India? I have a loan. Those things and all will run. Those kind of thoughts will run on your brain. How to handle them? How to balance them? And how to focus on education? That I wanted you to share.
So usually I am a positive person. Uh, I don't, I don't actually, I don't get many negative thoughts as such, but there will be a thought, right? So what if uh, you don't get OPT, and what if uh, something else happens, right? Of what if you don't get a job, etc. Um, always positive. You should always focus on the positive, right? So it's a US is a land of opportunity, definitely. At that time, at least, the situation was, even though it was bad, it was still considered a great place to get jobs. Um, as a student you will have time. It's not like you will not have much time. You'll have plenty of time because I know the studies part is hard, but you have limited subjects, right? So not like 10 subjects or something what you do in BTech. So you need to make sure that you cater enough time to your studies. Part time is you will just, you don't have to prepare or anything, right? You keep doing the job, but after that you have to actually focus on the study part. And this is what I always say to the people who go to US for studies, right? Studies is only 30%, 70% is making connections. You have to engage yourself into the international um, events, right? International student events. The organizations are there, like the house, right? Alpha, beta, delta, like that. Those fraternities they call. You have to be, kind of make sure that you are making connections, because connections is definitely something that will achieve you job. Without that, all just studying, you have to get some interview, right, on your, so without connections is, so you need to manage all that. I think one of the biggest challenge back then versus now is the smartphones and all that. You have a lot of time that you'll be spent on smartphones, and that's where people will not, actually go out for making connections.
Okay. So that's good. Thank you. And now I just wanted to ask, you said once you done your masters and you are in 2 years OPT, you didn't get a job. So that is 2 years, within the 2 years, what you might have felt if you could have done something in the college days. By the time you finished your masters, you could have get into the jobs. So you might have
Correct.
realized and you might have got this kind of thoughts number of times, right? Can you please share those thoughts so that
Yeah, yeah.
the masters who is studying, they can use your thoughts, and also who has completed now, who is doing the OPT, they can use your thoughts.
Right, right. One thing, like I said, connections. You can study, you obviously you need to have a good GPA, right? So that's the foundation. Get good GPA above 3 is like compulsory, or else I don't think you'll be able to graduate and masters. Aim something around 3 and 3.5 at least. The second thing is connection. So I wished I had made so many connections, and I wished I went out to explore the internships, right, at that time. Um, because you can apply the jobs without referral, usually nothing moves. And so I I applied hundreds of jobs in during OPT time. I got replies for maybe 1% of them, right? So if I applied 200 jobs, I got two replies, two scheduled interviews, etc. During the interviews, I failed miserably. That's because I didn't have experience or during internship or anything. Theoretical knowledge will not uh, get you anything, right? Um, and that's what I understood, that during the college time, if I had secured internship, it might have helped. But just not that. Even after internship ends, right, you still need a full-time job. Connections will only help, and this
So how
is
can you get,
where,
how can people get connections? Like you said, connections. So how can
right.
they can get it? What their steps they have to follow to get the connections?
Right. So it doesn't have to be, that if I get connections with white people, black people, Mexicans, and or Indians, right? You just need people. That's it. So international organizations usually are set up in every college, right? And you just have to be part of that organization, international student organization, and make sure that you're talking to them. So I know people coming from India, we have we are very reserved, right? And definitely we won't be able to directly go and make a conversation with a stranger who has been living in United States. So the best you can do is connect with your local language people, and then from there, don't stop at that. Connect with, use those connections and connect with, different uh, language people, and then maybe native English speakers, right? You can develop your communications, you can develop your connections, and those connections will help you, because someone in those connections will get a job. They will be able to help you come into a, all they can help with their connections. So if I connect with, let's say, 10 people, these 10 people, each person will have 10 people, right? So you can do like how exponentially it is, like uh, you are connected. That's why people say world is very small, right? Yet we have billions of people.
Okay, I want to ask. When you say connection, I'm going little depth. I'm going to ask as a blind person. It doesn't mean that I don't know anything, but yours point of that I'm going to ask you. So connection means getting a LinkedIn connection. That is it, or you want to talk to them? How do you want to reach out them? I know you are also composed person, but you might have improved that way by you doing something. What you have done? Can you please elaborate more?
Okay, so not just LinkedIn connection, LinkedIn virtual person. If I talk, right? Let's, you and me, we met physically at Gopur, right? And we worked for some time. But if you were just my LinkedIn connection, right, I wouldn't connect with you. So the connection, when I say connection, it should be physical, right? You need to be able to meet them at a coffee shop, and then um, you need to be able to discuss the things that are career oriented, right? uh, and if people don't have the same kind of mindset, at some point it is better to, only connect with people who have your mindset. So your mindset meaning your common goals and all that. um, I am a composed person. I'm reserved, very reserved actually. Hmm. At least now
Great
I'm
getting
talking with people.
connections. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So when I made connections, what I made, they were only roommates in my youth. Roommates, and roommates had friends and all that. So everything was around party, nothing around how to secure a job, how to make money, right? By securing a job. So job is what you can get paid for doing your work, right? I wish I was not just with my roommates and in the room always, play, just, uh, partying and going out for cricket or anything. Those are good things. It's not like they're bad things. Those also, they are stress busters, right? But I think you should at least take out some time and go to, meet new people who in the university. So that, because in university what happens is everybody is a student, right? And those students, one or the other, right, most of them, 90%, 80% want to have a job. So at that point of time, you will be talking about how they are applying, how they are trying to get a secure a job. They have their thoughts, you have your thoughts, you brainstorm. It's basically trying to achieve a common goal. What do we do in companies, right? We as a team get together, we talk, we try to build one common product, and then we build it. uh, Someone will have some ideas, and diverse minds have diverse ideas, right? People, that's why the diversity is also very encouraged in the companies, because women have a certain point of view and a certain approach. Men have some a different way, uh, a demographic, like different location person, like someone in Poland might have a different way of, ideas how to do or how to build a product and what should be the features, right? Similarly, job search is something like that. And I wish I did that, and that way I would have gotten more connections, because I would have secured a job, maybe not in 2 years, maybe in a year or something, right?
Okay. Okay. If you might have done this thing, you could have get it. So now, who else is watching? Please go and meet them personally. And especially if you are trying for jobs, go and talk to them who is doing a jobs. Not to be who is not having a jobs. Talking to them, same party culture will go. And if you, what do you say, Manoj? Do you agree with my statements?
So yeah, so if you want to secure a job, you need to meet people who are already doing the jobs, because they are actually connecting with people who are already doing jobs, and they etc. So it's a chain. So if you ask for a job, he will ask someone, they will ask someone, they will circulate your resume, things might happen. uh, just because you got the job doesn't mean you end there, right? You also can pull in some people that don't have jobs and make them, uh, employed. And that will, in the bigger scheme of things, right? You, first of all, when you help, you get very uh, peace of mind, and you feel happy naturally. That's the only thing that gives real happiness, when you help people. And when you do that, the person who got the help will always remember you. So this is, it should be a chain reaction, right? It should be uh, that way. I agree.
Yeah, thank you. And now you said after 2 years you got a job. And when you are doing the consult, when you are there in consultancy, so how the consultancy was taking care for you? I just wanted to highlight here. Now the things are got changed. So people
Okay.
should know this thing. So can you highlight? So what was the things those days they were taking care to you?
Okay. So in those days, consultancies, see, it's a business for them, right? And it's not just, they're not always just thinking about money. They see you and they want you to be employed. So it's not like, okay, they are eating from you, or 20%, 30%, right? They have to run a business. They have to, just because I got the job doesn't mean I'm giving 30%, right? Doesn't mean that they're living off of me. They need to then use that money to get someone else job. So they have costs, and these costs are something like, so they gave me a place to stay, see, free of cost. And they also gave us groceries, etc. I mean, they gave me the money, and then I go and buy groceries for all the roommates, right? So it's basically they are paying some rent to a house, into a house, and then they put like five, six people in a three-bedroom or something like that. And you just want to, uh, you can then focus on your study. The other thing is, I know it will take, you cook your own food, all this will take time, right? And job search will take time. These are all not very easy. It's always very time taking, time consuming, preparing for interview, preparing your subjects, and then applying each job at least takes 15 minutes, right? Because you have to run through the job, and then you have to prepare your resume, so that the ATS will pick it up, etc. So that was the consultancy, and they used to try to apply the jobs for you, and they try to get you interviews, etc. Back then it was like, they put your resume out with certain amount of experience, and then push you into, a
Uh,
job.
so yeah, during your joining days when you are taking the training under them, you might have done some mistakes. Can you highlight them? If you could have not done that mistakes, that could have helped you to get a very short time in that period. So because you will be
during
having a
consulting.
different kind of thoughts you might have having in mind. So what was your thoughts? How did you nullify them at the end?
Okay. Are you talking about during the consulting days?
Yeah, yeah, consultants. Yeah, consultancy time. That is the job trying period, right? Job
Time.
trying period.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I can say. Yeah.
Oh, so people who are in the so your roommates in the consultancy apartment, right? Uh, they are also like similar. So see, in the daytime, you apply the jobs and come back home. It will be evening. Someone will ask, well, let's drink some, you know, and all that, right? So I think at that point of time, it was a daily activity every
Okay.
day. So I think we can cut. If I could have cut it like maybe to 3 days, that activity, maybe Friday, Saturday, and Sunday instead of Monday through Sunday, right? It would have been because I would have saved at least 4 to 5 hours that I could use into either programming or doing something like building something that I should have not done. And what other things? Pretty much that's it. Like learning, right? And some other things is getting mentorship. So let's say you want to secure a job in uh, Python programming. You want to find someone who does Python programming, and you want to make them sit with you at least an hour. Ask them for a problem. You won't be able to solve it. Uh, Back then, AI was not there, right? So you have to Google search and all that, and you have to solve them. So you will ask. If you cannot solve, you have to ask them and ask your mentor to sit with you for a couple of hours and try for a solution. If I would have found some mentor, it would have been better.
Okay. So
Always I thought that is what I lack. I don't find a mentor. I did not find when I went to US like what I should do for masters, right? Not the subject. Like when I go into master, what I should be focusing in the college. If someone asks me now, I'll tell connections. Connect with people, as many people as possible. Only common goal, people, right? So do not do everything, but connect with people. What you want to do.
okay, thank you. And so you said you changed a different consultancy. There you got a job. So in the Java. So I know you are not in the coding side. So you don't like coding. That's what when you told me those days. So how did you crack the job? If you in case you do not have skills also, how did you manage it? So have your privacy and answer this.
So, um,
Guys, what I mean to say privacy means interviewers cannot say everything. So you will be adding some points. You have to cook up the story around it. Yeah, go ahead.
I did something to secure the job, right? It was like I had at least 10 interviews. Somehow I managed, right? I I got external help also to get the job. Once I was in the job, right? It was not easy. There are expectations, right? Before I joined, my at that time the manager said to their team, "Oh, a superstar is coming. He's going to transform our program."
Oh my God. Okay. Okay.
So I went in. A couple of very senior guys. They came. Okay, they saw me. I was this lean person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Looked very young. Even now, I look young, right? So I think so, because I'm 38 now. But people think I'm probably 34 or something like that, right? Um, so you can imagine when I was 26, I think, or 25, 26, they would have thought I was 21. And then uh, how can this guy be a superstar, right? So they started questioning. Uh, I was scared, but that's fine. Uh, so actually, the very first job before this job, right, Java Selenium, I was not even interviewed. I was just called in. I was one of the recruiter talked to me and said, "Okay, we are gonna pay you this much, and you start tomorrow. All you need to do is deploy this application and resolve the errors. Right? Deploy into a JBoss server."
Okay.
I was very shy to ask anyone. The whole it was in San Francisco city, big city. Everybody was like very down to earth, but I did not. So they fired me after 1.5 day.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But
That's
yeah, that's
fine.
fine.
You are surveyed.
Yeah,
You learned something. Yeah.
right. So and then this job, right? After that, 2 months I didn't have a job, and then this job, and I was like, I was determined to keep the job, right? So the seniors were like, "Hey, what do you know? Do you know this, this, this?" And I said, "I know things. Give me a problem, I'll solve it." And these seniors were actually on the manual testing side, so they didn't know much of the Java and all, right? So that one, like, it's okay. They didn't think of it much. They became my best buddies, by the way. I used to drink with them, party with them, etc. But uh, all the automation team was in India. I was the only person in US, and they were expecting me to lead this automation team from here with an authoritative, and problem solving skills and all that, right? Like a leader, I want to show them, okay, this is how you need to do it, etc., right? And there were lots of escalations. My manager thought I was superstar, and then he goes back and asks my consultancy, what man, what, this guy is not stepping up, it's been 2 months, etc., etc. They never fired me, by the way. So I used to go to office in the night in US when no one was in the office. It was a big company, big client. It's a airline solutions company. I went into in the night. I was the only person in the building. All lights were off in all the floors. Only my floor, some lights were on my portion. I get on a call because if I have to survive, I need to know. I need to learn. Right. I get on a call with a couple of people. I used to ask, how do I run this? Why is the program not running? Why is the code not running on Eclipse? How do I execute this test case? And by the time, after 1.5 year, I quit the job. But by the
You
time,
survived 1.5 year. That's great job.
yes, yes, yes.
First job is one and a half day and
Yeah.
1.5 year. There is improvement.
Mhm. Uh, and 1.5 year, by the time I was like 1 year, after 1 year, I was handling all the code and I was changing the code. I mean, I did not write like the brand new product, right? It was there. I managed to change the code, do improvements, etc., etc. Uh, I wouldn't say like I like became a superstar by the end of it, but I was able to know like I can survive, any kind of pressure and all that just by making small changes, right? Like going to office in the night just to learn. My manager would ask me why am I going in the evenings, right? And he understood that I was putting effort. Yeah. So, and by the end of the like after 1.5 year, I said to myself, okay, I need to quit this and get into cybersecurity because I want to make more money.
Okay. So those days. How did you enter the cybersecurity? What are the fundamentals you learned? And I know you worked in Akta side. For the same company, you worked for the 4 years. And how did you learn? How did you manage yourself? Okay, earlier you were test fixing, and how did you manage this? Can you elaborate it more detailed?
Um, so after that company, right, for 1.5 year, I said, so my manager was transferred to a different stream, and I got one other manager who was in Bangalore, right, and I was in this United States. So I said, in December time, I said I'll go to my base location, my consultancy location. I'm gonna tell them I want to also get into the identity access management, because at that time it was Oracle, and it was giving, I mean, the contracts were giving a lot of money, dollar per hour, right? So I went there. Um, they gave me a server. They said install
Oracle,
the
sir.
product.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
That takes days together to install. Yeah.
Correct. But right, my curiosity always, I I used to do kind of, so I in my college days I used to, I had this Samsung Galaxy S. So I used to put programs on it, like a jailbreak and new OS, right? That is created outside of Android. I mean, the flavors of Android by someone else. I wouldn't recommend doing that now because of lots of cybersecurity implications, right? People can actually, they can read anything on your phone if you put a third party software. But yeah, so this installation of Oracle and all that was like interesting, and I there were lots of Oracle products are not easy to install. They have lots of steps and all, buggy. You'll encounter a lot of bugs and errors. So I installed everything on that machines. I made it run, right. So they said, okay, you passed the first step. Now you need to know how to, the concepts, right? So installation is always the first step. You need to learn the concepts behind what is the LDAP directories, and what are identity management, access management. What is it? Why does it? And I learned halfway. I secured another job in the IAM space. Very happy. It was a federal client, Department of Interior. Uh, I went, and Accenture was the uh, Accenture Federal Services, AFS. There's another wing of Accenture. They were implementing a product for them. So there I went. I started with base directory services. I talked to my manager and I said, "Give me anything. I'll take it. I'll deliver you." I There were people that were actually helpful within the project, not just on the technical side. Technical side, you can Google, you'll figure out solutions, or you can open a support ticket. But mentorship and uh, motivation, those they gave. There was one nasty manager also, like a delivery. He is also contractor. He's a delivery lead. We don't get along. We didn't get along, but uh, yeah, we delivered the product for, I think that also lasted for 1.5 year. And after that, I moved to Virginia for a defense company contract. And that one unfortunately ended in 2 years, 2 months, sorry, 2 months. And then I lost the job, right? No job.
No, I want to ask here. You joined in the other technologies to OAM, or Oracle Identity Access Management. So those days you might have faced some challenges. So how did you tackle them? How did you solve the problems? So interview, somebody is saying that if they joined a new job, how can they swim from that job and survive? Can you please elaborate on that point? So there are so many students like you, young guys, they are afraid to go to office. So what are you how the challenges? So can you elaborate that point more?
Yeah, students might not know this, but any experienced person, professional, right, will know. No matter what you learned or how many years of experience you have, every new job will have something new for you. You have to overcome those challenges, or else that is the reason you get a job, right? You need to be a problem solver. So whether you have 100 problems that you need to solve, or whether you'll have 10 problems you need to solve, right? It's just an everyday thing, right? So experience helps because you would know how to solve, not the solution itself you might not know, but you would know what are the steps that you need to take to solve a certain kind of solution, right? So the challenge is where everything was new. um, Everything, so there is documentation, you google it, or you would actually read the whole document. Bottom line is you have to spend, if right now if I spend 2 hours on a job, on a problem, if it gets solved, 10 years before it might have taken me 4 hours, right? So all you need to do is you'd have to put more time. So hard work is what will, that is what people call hard work. It's not like you are physically doing some hard work, right? All you're doing is putting more time into it, and then eventually you'll solve it. Even if you don't solve it, then you'll have someone else. You always ask for help. Some project mate will help you.
Okay.
uh, yeah.
Okay, got it. So in this tenure, so I want to you to share some life skills also. So getting the job is one time. Once you gone there, how did you impress others? Like somebody need to make you trust, right? So with the 0 years of experience, when you go there, that time you need to impress. So when five people are there, you need to be tackled one person one at a time. So some people will fall for the coffee, some people will fall for the flattering, some people will fall for the impressions. So how did you tackle them? Can you?
One thing I want to say is the more you deliver on the job, uh, the more people will trust you. uh, the other thing is, how do you impress is something else, right? So impress comes with communication always. You need to talk to them, then you need to get to know like what do they like, and if something is like common, and if you guys both do like coffee, right, like Gopu said, definitely let's chai break jayenge, okay, then we'll go, right? So or some people smoke, right? And smoking buddies, but I am not saying you should start smoking because it's a very nasty habit, all this, but you can give company to them, right? And you can talk when they're smoking. So basically I think the human interaction is the thing to make someone gel with you. You should always make sure that you talk to them, get to know them before starting to tell, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I do this, etc. You try to know them. Always listen. When people listen, right, they will have more knowledge. Um, so in my job time, right, um, like I was saying, my first job, I used to talk to them on the call, like a Zoom meeting, or back then Teams or Skype meeting with the India team. And I used to just basically let them talk and let them, I ask a question and then they tell me, okay, then I understand, right? You need to listen. And then even virtually I was able to get information with the right set of mindset. Even in the second job, mm, I was able to talk to
I
uh,
have one
uh,
question here. You said talk to them, but basically problem is many people have a fear. If I talk, they will ask this point. If I am not able to deliver, then they'll call me I'm an unskilled person. That challenge, that kind of thoughts will go in brain. How to tackle them?
see, everybody is human, right? So let's say if I'm hiring, if someone talks to me and comes to me and talks something, and I ask a question they cannot answer, I'll not simply say be very upset about him, right? On that, I'll okay, this guy is not able to answer this. Maybe I need to tell him, read here, read this, and all that. So don't be fearful. If you don't talk, then people will definitely not like. If you talk, they might only 10% of or 20% of you might not be like, but 80% they will say, okay, let me help this guy. Naturally, people want to help, right? Or else we will not create this big communities and corporates and all that. So always it's fine. Some people will never like you, even if you talk or if you don't talk. If without conversation, people will think you're rude, you don't talk to anyone. Okay, this guy is showing attitude, uh, and all that.
Oh, okay, okay. If you do not talk, also it will create a problem. Go and talk to them.
Definitely, yeah. And I'm not saying like always keep on talking something, right? Work is there, work will be there. Don't waste their time nor your time, but always conversate in a common, uh, likable topic, basically.
Okay. Uh, so one thing I want to ask. You those days you are forced to come to India. So while you are flying from America to India, so what was your thoughts? So how did you handle them? So it is like America, everyone is dream place, right? It is a good things are there here, and definitely that is for sure. So I may get some blames from India people, but there is a improvement is there in America. That is for sure. Environment wise,
Mm.
everything. So, so how did you? Uh, what kind of thoughts you are going on those days when you decided to come to from US to India? What was the thoughts is going on? So you might have suppressed some thoughts. How did you handle it?
When I was coming back, right, I told a lady, I'm gonna come back to America. I'm not gonna live in India. I will live, but I'll always try to come back to US. 100%. This is where I want to live, in the US. That didn't happen, but yeah. Uh, at that time, I really was very upset. I didn't want to go back to India. It's not like because I don't like it. I have so many friends. I have right now, if I can count, every day I can at least meet 10 friends, 10 different friends. That many people I know. I have a large family also here, very nice people and all. But the quality of life is 100% better. It is 4x or 5x times better in US, right? So uh, I know there are some pros and cons in US, like healthcare and all that. I'm not getting into that. All I'm saying is quality of life. So when I came here, right, I was very upset. I had to, so I was given 14 days to come back, pack up and come back because H1B, they rejected my renewal. only had 40 days to come back. So my rental agreement, all that I had to break, I had to pay penalties, so much money loss, right? Because I had to pay some $4,000 or something to the landlord. And then mm, lots of credit card bills also were there. So financially, I was very poor when I was in US. Meaning, when I say poor, poor planning, right? I was paid good money. I was just spending a lot. So anyway, so when I came back here, I no job, right? So I started applying in Naukri. I got two offers, one from Infosys and one from PwC.
No, no, I want to ask here more. That point is you are having a changes, right? Wha- So, what was helped you to get a job if you might have not done?
Signature, right? Your name at CISSP. People will have a certain, first impression. Second thing is, um, I was able to understand. I learned a lot, right? Every certification will make you learn something. But with CISSP, I learned a lot of on the actual security, like how you should be on the security side, what you should be looking at. It's not always fixing the problem. It is always managing the risk. That is the main. No matter how many tools you will deploy, how much identity access management you will do, and single sign-on you will do, there is always a threat somewhere in the org. So instead of saying that, okay, I will deploy this tool, right? Mindset should be, how can you manage the risk in case of someone hijacking your single sign-on session? What what can you how can you what happens if what can you do to isolate the risk and make sure that you contain the risk? Those type of attitude will come, right? So I passed the exam is, I showed up every day 4 hours. I said to myself, every day 4 hours you have to show up.
Okay, okay, okay. You have to show off or something. Okay, okay, okay. Got
Show
it.
up
If you are doing a coding, also you have to show up for the 4 hours of coding. And if you are doing a
what
something, you have to show up. So if you are implementing
100%.
something, work towards that. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your valuable time, Manoj. And say this video useful for you. Share this video with your friends.